Hello, my name is Robbie, and I am a independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I don't know about you, but when I started stamping and paper crafting, I struggled with color a lot, and sometimes I still do. But I've learned some tips and tricks that I'm going to pass on to you, and my Fridays are going to be all about color therapy because I want to help you with solving your problem of what colors to use and how to use them. And so therefore, I'm going to get started with the first in the series. So come on into my craft room and join me. Fall is just around the corner. So I thought I would start with that since most of you will probably be working on fall cards. What I do when I start with my color is if I'm using a theme, in this case fall, I think about the colors that would be associated with it. So I have a green. Now because I'm Stampin' Up, mine will have names, but you know that you just have to choose the colors that you have. I have a garden green. There's got to be a yellow for those sunflowers, so crushed curry. Old olive is another green. There's definitely a difference. This one is more brighter. This is a muted one. So it just depends on what you want for your looks. Browns. Soft suede is a good one because it's not real harsh. It's not too dark, not too light. Cajun craze is a rust colored one. Pumpkin pie, because there's always orange leaves. And then I like to throw in a purple, and in this case, rich raspberry. So those are the colors that I would associate with fall. For today's idea, I'm going to be making a sunflower. So I know I need to use crushed curry. I know I need to use old olive rather than the garden green. It would be okay, but I want a more muted look. And because I'm going to be doing some stamping on colored cardstock, I don't want to use black, so I'm going to use my soft suede. So I'm going to use those colors today and come back again next week and see which ones I use. Excuse me. So I'm going to start with a piece of crushed curry, and I am using the Celebrate Sunflowers. I'm going to use that large sunflower there, so pretty, and that leaf. And I'm also going to be using the dies to cut it out. So with that, I'm going to pull in my flower, and I'm going to stamp it in soft suede. I could stamp it in the yellow, but I wanted to give it a little bit of extra pizzazz, so to speak. So I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to let it sit there for a bit. All right, because you want to let the ink transfer. All right, so I've got my image there. Now, I don't want my sunflower center to be the yellow like that. So what I did was I took the image, stamped it on a piece of white, a scrap, and I'm going to take and I'm going to line this up on here. I've got to kind of do some finagling. It fits in there like so. And then I'm going to take my soft suede and I'm going to use a blending brush and I'm going to color that center. Now I'm going to start off and come in. Now it's going to take a while for the ink to build up on my tool, so it's, you know, I just keep working at it. Okay. Sometimes rubbing it back and forth, it builds it up. And once it gets built up, it goes very quickly. Now this will not give you the same look as this because this is yellow and this is white. So, all right, I've got that in there. All right, and I missed just a little bit here. So what I'm going to take and do is I'm going to slide this up slightly and come back in and fill that in. So that, you know, just kind of work around it and get it filled in. And it doesn't have to match up perfectly, but there it is, pretty close. And there's our sunflower. Isn't it pretty? Oh my goodness. So I now stamped my sunflower, done my center, and I need some leaves. So I always work with my leaves. Excuse me, got a tickle. And this is Old Olive with Old Olive ink. All right. And I always do, I'm going to stamp another one because this one is fairly light. I always do 3 leaves. I put 2 together and 1 on the opposite side. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, you've got to fussy cut those. Nope. There is a die. I can't find my leaf die. I have one. The outline. There it is. Fell. So I'm going to cut all of these out and I'll come back to put our card together. Okay, I have all of my pieces cut. So I'm going to very carefully take that tape off. I always tape mine in place so that it doesn't move on me when I'm die cutting. So there's my leaves. And I'll show you a little trick if you have this set. Get this off first so I don't rip it. All right. When you look at this die, there are 3 points that kind of go at an angle. If you look at your flower, find those 3 points that go that way and match it up. And then all you have to do is shift it around so that it falls into place. And that way you can cut it out easily. All right, now to me, this is the bottom. So I have my leaves and I'm going to take and I'm going to add them to the back of my flower using a glue dot. When you put a glue dot on, it goes on the front if you're going to do it this way. So I'm going to put 1 leaf here and I'm going to put another leaf next to it. All right, like so. So I have that cluster. And then the last one's going to go down here somewhere. And it's just, I find it easier to put them on with the glue dot. Some people glue them. It just depends on what you like. And I'm just kind of looking at it and deciding how it goes. So there's my flower ready for my card front. But I will tell you that I take and use vanilla a lot of times in the fall because white is so harsh. So I have a vanilla card base. All right, and I'm going to get it straight. All right. And then I'm going to add my flower up here because I'm going to add ribbon down here, and I'm going to show you a little trick with the ribbon. All right, I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. If I can find them underneath of everything over here. Here we go. All right, and I need to cut some. I cut my dimensionals in half because I find it just kind of extends. I get more bang for my buck. I'm cheap. I want to spend my money on stamp sets and dies and not stuff like adhesives and things. So I do everything I can to save my money. And this is one way that I do it. All right, so I'm gonna add that one in here. And I'm adding a lot of dimensionals. This is a big image and I don't want to have it collapse on me. So I'm gonna get rid of that. And now I'm going to take my backs off, and I have a pokey tool because I've had mine for years. I've been a demonstrator. Oops, that one, the back didn't come off. I've been a demonstrator for like 16 years, but I've been stamping for over 20. So I have a lot of the old tools and I use those, but we do have a pokey tool, which is a combination that has that pointed end to it. Okay, all right, now this is going to go on like this. And it's fine like that. You could add a sentiment down here, but I'm not big on sentiments because I don't know when I'm going to need my card. So I'm going to show you how to add ribbon to your card. You need a hole punch, and this is the one that I use. If you have a regular hole punch, you can. And what you want to do is you want to put your card in, and I kind of judge just about where it's going to be, where my ribbon's going to be. Let's see, just above that mark. So I'm going to find that mark. There it is. So I'm going to go up a little bit, and then I'm going to take and I'm just going to punch out half a circle. Now my card's folded in half, so I get that shape. And what that does is it puts a hole. So now I can take and thread my ribbon through, bring it around to the front, and tie my bow, or not, because I know some of you don't like bows. But I'm going to show you how I tie my bows. So I take my ribbon and I go right over left and I pull it north to south. Okay, my tails, so to speak. Excuse me again. And then I use a finger to hold it in place. I take my bottom tail, make my loop, and I'm using my finger underneath to press down. Slide that to the other side. I shift my ribbon around a lot. And this comes through the hole at the bottom, and I'm going to pull it east to west, but I want to make sure my bows are straight first. All right. And I'm going to pull this down. All right. And that's a way to get your bow to lay fairly close to what it should look like if it was straight on your card. Now I will tell you, sometimes I tie a double knot, especially if my ribbon is thin, and then do my bow. So I'm going to move this down so it's even. And there's our card. Now you can easily step this up. You could emboss this background, but I kept it clean and simple. I hope you enjoyed today's creation. I had a lot of fun sharing my ideas with you. I know we all struggle with color, and if I can help you in any form, make it easier for you to choose your colors and get creating, that's my goal. I don't want you to spend your time looking for colors and playing around. I want you to just go and create. I hope you'll join me next week for the next in the series of Color Therapy Friday. Have a great day.